did not think I was going to start laughing. That one's unexpected. Okay. Speaking your truth is funny. I do always say the best feelings come from the release of like the really negative ones. I just got off a call with my parents, like a 40-minute phone call, because I called them to ask if there was anything I needed to do with my phone, because I'm going to Rocky Point, Mexico this weekend with Rhonda and a new friend, Jenna, that's friends with Rhonda and Rachel, and staying at Rodolfo's place, which is just so awesome that he's letting us stay there. And then, so I just called them to see if there was anything I needed to do for my phone. And I don't even know how the conversation got to this, but it came up with them loaning me money, right? Which I'm super grateful for. And it is allowing me to not worry about dying right now from stress with working. And I mean, I literally, so anyways, it got to the point where my dad goes, well, you know whose fault this is. This is all you know who asshole's fault. And meaning Dave. Oh, girl, did I finally, I guess I shouldn't say girl, girls, guys, he, she, they, everyone. Y'all, can I just start saying y'all? Hey, y'all. I call girls, I say dude, I say, I guess, whatever. I digress. Holy shit, did I go off on my parents. Oh, let me tell you, that felt good. That has been building up inside of me for a very, very long time. And holy shit, I am so proud of myself. And holy shit, did that feel good. And that's probably why I'm cracking up right now, because I literally told them off. And I said, yeah, and you want to know why I ended up with that asshole? Because I was taught that growing up, abuse is okay. And I was like, I grew up in an extremely traumatic household watching my mom get the shit beat out of her by somebody that I love. Watching somebody that I love beat the shit out of and yell at and scream at the person that I love while I stood there and nobody cared about me. And I said about, literally called him out about like pitting me up against counters and yelling and screaming and spitting at me in my face. And of course I ended up in a relationship with Dave because I did nothing to heal that trauma before jumping into a marriage with somebody to just continue that trauma. And I said, you know, because my dad was like super taken aback that I just called out his ass on that and her ass on that because they were on speaker. And I was like, yes. And mom told me that you grew up being terrorized by your mom and yelled at and slapped around. So I completely understand why you carried that trauma on, because you were taught that that was okay and that you deserve that. And that's not true. And then my mom at some point jumped in there and said something about, well, your dad was also in Vietnam and the stuff that he saw over there. And I said, yeah, exactly. I experienced PTSD. I've experienced trauma. Dad has experienced trauma. And like, obviously we have that PTSD in common. Yeah. Is it the same? No. But is it both traumatic and PTSD, like, you know, post-traumatic stress? Yeah. It is. And so there was that. And then he said something about getting the help. He was lucky to get the help that he needed because of where he was working, allowed him to go to some rehab program to get the help that he needed. I was like, that is so awesome that your work did that for you. And I was like, it's really awesome that you guys are like financially supporting me right now so that I can get the help that I need. I am very lucky and blessed for that. And my mom was like got on the phone and was like, you talk about having this horrible childhood, but I was like, no. I will acknowledge I went through trauma, but I was like, I will also acknowledge I always had food on the table. I always had clothes on my back. I always had a roof over my head. always. So all my basic needs were met, unlike a lot of other kids that, you know, go through traumatic childhoods. And I was like, but do not downplay the fact that I experienced trauma growing up. And I said, you know, and at one point I got like really emotional, and so I said all that, and it was just, God, it was funny because like at first it definitely did leave him speechless, and then he felt the need to start defending himself. Well, because of this, and I was like, exactly, like, because you experienced stuff, you carried it on. And I was like, I am just blessed that at 37 I am finally getting the chance to realize that that is not healthy, that I don't deserve to be treated like that I deserve better, and I'm doing what I feel like I need to now to finally heal, and getting help, therapy, and doing things like taking care of myself, and like getting out in nature, and not just working myself to death and stressing myself out to death like I literally did. I stressed myself out to death. And and then I said, you know, and something else that Dad and I, you know, we've acknowledged that we have in common is, you know, the fact that we've both experienced thoughts of suicide. You know, like, we have a lot more in common, Dad, than we probably both realized. Because it was just like, you know, my mom was like sticking up for my dad about his PTSD and stuff, which is like, totally get it. And why he was not given, I mean, it sounds like he healed some. I mean, I don't think he beats the shit out of my mom anymore, but I also think some of that stopped when I moved out of the house, because I think that was a big trigger for my dad. But it doesn't make any of that stuff okay that he did that. But at the same time, it's like, when you're in this veil and you haven't gotten the opportunity to realize it, you don't know any better. You don't. You're literally brainwashed and you don't know any better. It's crazy. Like, I can't even hate on them because they weren't given the same opportunity to wake up and heal like I've been given. And how and why I got so lucky, I don't know. But I literally do thank the universe as much as, like, anytime that I remember it. I obviously want to be doing it more. But anytime that it even remotely comes up, when people are like, wow, you're really strong. Wow, like, you know, that's, you know, like, and that's one thing that I was going to say. Sorry, I'm going to upload this to YouTube. I'm not going to say that. Is literally how grateful I am to have gotten the chance for it to somehow click in my brain when Dave got abusive in front of Callie, to see her and be like, I don't want her to grow up the way that I did, and to kick him out. I'm so grateful for that realization, for that strength, for that whatever it was, my intuition, my higher self. I have no fucking clue, but I'm so grateful. And I am so grateful that at 37, 36, I got the opportunity to pretty much die from stress, because it lets me see things from a whole different perspective, including my parents, my mom sitting there telling me to be so careful about COVID and going to Mexico and this and that, and the fact that I'm not vaccinated. And I said, it's not a fucking vaccine. All it does is lessen the symptoms of, like, that's what they claim. It's not an actual vaccine. It doesn't prevent anyone from getting it. All it does is lessen the symptoms if you do get it. It doesn't prevent it from spreading. And that's personally just because that's probably what people believe it does, is it lessens the symptoms, therefore it lessens the symptoms, right? If you believe it, it makes it true. And for her to sit there and say, well, you know, you have 2 young children, and, you know, if that's okay with you to die from COVID, and I was like, if the universe has it that it's gonna, like, I'm gonna die from COVID, then so be it. Because at this point, the universe has showed me that I could die from stress, and that I could go at any given fucking time. Like, literally all of my organs were shutting down. The universe has pretty much shown me that there is nothing. I have no control over when I leave. I have no control over when the universe is going to take me. When it's my time, it's my time. End of story. And if it just so happens to be by a bear attack in Alaska, so be it. Did it happen? No. I didn't think it was in my cards. It didn't happen. From, hitchhiking and being kidnapped and murdered, if that was in the plans, so be it. Did it happen? Nope. The universe is still showing me I get to continue living my new magical life, and it's amazing, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it in the meantime. And I'm not going to sit here and live in fear and wonder if I could get sick or wonder if I could die, because did I think I was going to break out in a full fucking body rash and have all my organs shut down and die? No, I was not expecting that at all. And the universe was like, hey, by the way, this is in your life plan. Oh my God, I'm literally like, I'm euphoric right now, right? Like, I am literally euphoric right now from finally fucking speaking my truth to my parents and calling them out on the abusive fucking bullshit. Because they sit there and they blame it on Dave all the time. And I say, yep, you're 100% correct. I do not deserve to be treated like that, and I should not, I will never allow somebody to treat me like that again. But I did so because that's what I was taught growing up. Oh, man. Oh, that felt good. Oh, that felt good. Oh. All right. I'm sure there's more. I can't. I'm literally like on cloud nine. I am so proud of myself for finally fucking speaking my truth. God, that feels good. All right. I'm just gonna end it there and say I love you.